It is the start of another 5-day school week. It is also the 5th week of school. Good morning, everyone, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Mariely Sanchez, and I am a 4th grade teacher in South Florida. Today is Monday, and it is the start of another 5-day school week. It is also the 5th week of school. So I will be taking you right along with me and sharing all the great things that are going to happen this week. One of them being Rock Your School, which is happening this Thursday. Now, I'm going to actually, for this vlog, I'm only going to include Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday. Thursday's video, I am planning to just upload it all on its own so that you can see what we ended up doing on Rock Your School. So it's going to be kind of trippy because I'll be uploading Thursday first, and then I will upload Monday through Friday. Or maybe I'll do it the other way, Monday through Friday, and then Thursday by itself the following day or something like that. I'll play it by ear. So probably Thursday afterwards. But I am so glad to be participating in Rock Your School this week. So I will be sharing a little bit more about that on Thursday's video so that you can see all the preparations that are going into that and how the day turns out. All right, so I'm going to do some last minute preparations before the kids come in about 15 minutes, and I will check in with you later today. It's now the end of the day, and it's been one of those days that we were like working till we ended the day just now, but we did so many things. We also worked on updating our math interactive notebook because we hadn't done that in a while. So I want to show you what we have added up to now. We still have different things to add because we're wrapping up everything that we discussed in chapter 1 and making sure that we added that to the notebook so that we can start in chapter 2, which is multiplying by 1-digit numbers. And for science, right now that we're finishing it up, our scientific method choice menu, they're pretty much done. They're just doing some final touches. So tomorrow I'm going to flip my schedule a little bit. So instead of starting with math, we'll start with science, and that just scared me. Something fell to the ground. I don't know what it was. Probably something like a notebook. Oh, somebody's pencil pouch. They tried to put it jam-packed in their desk, and it eventually just popped out. So that's what's on the floor right now. I'll pick it up as soon as I'm done talking to you. But yeah, I'll just start with science and then do math later in the afternoon. So yeah, flipping my schedule a little bit for tomorrow so that we could do that. And the students that wrote raps can present those raps, and the students that wrote commercials can present the commercials, and then we can move on to our space science unit that we are going to work on. All right, so then this morning we introduced the students to Wonders Unit 1 Week 2, which is all about how our actions affect others. We went over the vocabulary. We didn't have time to read the shared read, so tomorrow we'll do that. I have the materials prepared for that, so I want to show you what that looks like. I have a trifold and I have a little booklet to help us with the writing from Unit 1 Week 1 that we didn't get to do. I know we're like playing catch up, but I'm being real. This is real life teaching happening, and this is what we're dealing with. So let me show you the trifold for the talent show and the writing booklet. Here's the trifold for the talent show. It looks similar to the other ones that I have, and then they start changing to the booklets that I'm going to show you in a moment in a way. So they are going to answer the essential question. We didn't get to do this yet, but they'll do it tomorrow. We're dealing with story structure and problem and solution. So they'll work on that, what the problem was, event that led to the solution. Then they're answering some comprehension questions here. And on the back, we have a graphic organizer that is like a multi-flow map in a way, or a flow map, showing the action and what it leads to, the effect. And if you have the action, you have to find the effect and so forth, and then answering some comprehension questions here. So that's the trifold for the talent show, which is our shared read. This is the foldable that the following units will look like, but this is the writing one. So it has the essential question, it has the directions and the prompt. And then this is how we unwrap the prompt here with the APT 123, which is one of my strategies. And then here's where we start to gather evidence from all 3 sources. What was the character's problem, the steps they took to solve it, the solution and where they got their good idea, and if that good idea will work for them when solving a problem, and then they can create their plan. So that's what we were going to work on, but we just ran out of time because we were working on finishing up some other things this morning. But that is what I have planned for reading and writing. As far as math goes, this is our math notebook, or my math notebook for this year. I did put teal tape so the students know that it is our math notebook. And the way that it looks, let me just show you. We had already written our dedication for our math notebook. We put our guidelines for the math notebook in our notebook. And then we started talking about what mathematicians do, what they use, etc. They have this little people, and they can add that to that. They have their math about me, and they have to do mine, but I've done it in the past. This is what we were working on adding today. So we have our math practices, which is a little foldable that includes what all the math practices are and what they should be able to do during math. And then I left a blank page here because I decided last minute that I wanted to include something else. And then I added our cube strategy followed by our math reference sheet. Both of these are in my TPT store. The cube strategy is a freebie that you can grab for free. The math reference sheets is something that I do sell. And then we have our FSA math reference sheet, which includes our measurement units. This is the same reference sheet that they'll get at the end of the year, towards the end of the year in May, when they take their math test. And then we started adding all the standards that we were going over in chapter 1. So MBT 1.1, an example of 10 times greater, and then a practice page on MBT 1.1. This comes from Rebecca Rojas, Create, Teach, Share, which I love her interactive notebooks. And then we have some other things that we're going to add similar to this. By the way, this standard comes from Jason's online classroom, and I love it because he has the ones that are 4 to a page, which are the ones that I print, and the students put in their notebooks. We have to add MBT 1.2, NBT 1.3, and OA 1A and 1B. So all those will go here, and then we'll start adding the ones for the current chapter we're on. We also started setting up our social studies notebook. So this whole week I'm dedicating time to setting up the different interactive notebooks. I'll share more about social studies tomorrow because I just had them write their dedication, skip a page because I need to print the guidelines, and then have them write about why each subject is important to us, why science is important, math, social studies, and language arts. And then they need to start taking their notes on the 4 social scientists, the hats. So that's coming. So I am looking forward to sharing with you more of how we're using interactive notebooks in our classroom this week. But for now, I'm going to gather my things because I do have an appointment to get to after school. And I will see you tomorrow, Tuesday. Good morning, everyone. So welcome to Tuesday. I just have to pause for a moment and say I am feeling a little strange this morning. On my drive to work this morning, I kind of felt like I had like a blind spot in my vision. And when I got out of the car, I noticed on my left eye, there were those like clear squiggly lines that usually happen to me. It hasn't happened in a long time, but those squiggly lines usually happen when I'm about to get a really bad migraine. And I've been feeling like pressure here on the left side of my head. And right now I'm sitting at my desk and I kind of moved my head in a sort of, I don't know how I moved it, but right here there was a pain around my neck, like from the way that I kind of moved my head, and it was like a shooting pain up to my head, and then I felt like lightheaded and like I was about to faint. So I'm like trying to relax and calm down in case it might be something else. I just took 2 Excedrins that a teacher gave me, and I drank my tea, and I took my antibiotic. So I'm gonna eat something right now to make sure that that helps with what I just took. But I let the office know that I'm not feeling 100% so they can like check up on me because it's still early in the morning. School doesn't start for like another 20 minutes or so. And I don't know, I'm debating whether or not I should go to the ER or see what happens. I don't know. I'm not sure what to do. All right, so I am going to sit down and relax for a bit, and I will check in with you later. All right, everyone, so it's now my planning time, and I feel a little better. I know munching on the cereal helped a lot, and it's good to have friends that are colleagues of yours, that are neighbors, and they can also take care of you because they've been checking up on me, which is great. And one of them just gave me really nice and cold orange juice to kind of drink, And also she gave me a little tangerine or mandarin orange. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and eat those now. And I have a break until 11:05 when I have to pick up the kids in the cafeteria because right now they're in specials. And then after that, some teachers are gonna just walk them to lunch, which is right next door. And then I'll pick them up at 11:05. They'll have recess and we'll continue on with our instruction this afternoon at 11:35 with reading. So I want to just share with you some of the things that I am planning on doing today. I completely forgot that yesterday was International Dot Day. It was actually on Sunday, September 15th, but a lot of people were celebrating it yesterday. So I went ahead and I pulled up the book, The Dot, which you can find for free, available on getepic.com. But my district also has it on Tumble Books, and we have access to Tumble Books thanks to our district. And what's cool about Tumble Books is that it narrates it to the kids, which I just want to have them watch it. It's almost like a video because it has animated illustrations. So we'll discuss it, and then I'm having them do an activity. Today is also Constitution Day, September 17th. So we're going to talk about the Constitution. We're going to read We the Kids, which talks about the preamble to the Constitution. And then we're going to do that to jumpstart our own classroom constitution. I was inspired by another teacher on Instagram, and she did it with her classroom. So I'm like, oh, I like that idea. So let me show you both activities, first starting with The Dot. So this is the book, The Dot, by Peter H. Reynolds, and I'll show you a little bit of how it looks on both Epic and how it looks on Tumble Books. But basically, it's a nice little story. If you've never read it, it's really great about how a teacher is able to help a student realize their true potential. The student didn't feel like they would be good at drawing or art, etc. So they made a dot. The teacher asked them to sign it, and etc. That's how it basically starts. So it's a motivating story, and it's really great. So to celebrate International Dot Day, each student is going to get this paper, which I printed off on cardstock. They're going to design 3 different size dots, and then we'll use these to create a classroom display with all the different colored dots. And I will assign different colors for each team, so we have different colors of the rainbow represented on the dots. Now, the other book that I wanted to share with the students today is We the Kids. I have 2 copies of these, but it basically just introduces the kids to the preamble to the Constitution, and it goes over the essential vocabulary words that are part of the Constitution. It goes over some information, big words, big ideas that we're going to read. And here are the vocabulary that the students can kind of understand the preamble a little better. But it's super cute if you never read it. Great read for the students. And once we read the book, we are going to create our classroom constitution. And it says, we, the students of Ms. Sanchez's 4th grade class, in order to have a more perfect classroom environment, pledge to, so we're going to choose 10 things that we're going to pledge to do this year. And then to ourselves and our posterity, we do ordain and establish this classroom constitution. And then I'll have all the students sign in the box, including myself. So that I will print out and I will put in a frame somewhere in our classroom so the students can refer to it from time to time. So that's basically 2 of the stories that I'm planning to include today. And also we'll continue reading Wish Tree. Today we're going to read chapters, I believe 30 through 39 or 40. Actually, I think it's 31 to 40 or something like that. But we're going to read that, which includes a very interesting section of the book. And then we only have maybe 2 more days and then we'll finish the book because it has 51 chapters. So we'll end today in about chapter 40. So yeah, it's coming to an end. The kids are loving it. Yesterday when we finished reading it, I left in another cliffhanger and they were like, no, please, please keep reading. And I go, you'll have to wait till tomorrow. So that makes me feel so happy that they're really enjoying our read aloud and we are having great discussions about it as well. So then we're going to move into the talent show, which we didn't get to read yesterday, and do our trifold. We'll see if we can squeeze a little bit of writing in there. And for math, we're going to continue setting up our math interactive notebooks and going into chapter 2, which is multiplying by 1-digit numbers. And then we'll continue with social studies with our notebooks as well. And yeah, they just finished science this morning. They were finishing the scientific method choice menu. So that was something important that I needed them to finish. So yeah, that's basically in a nutshell what we're planning to do today. I will catch up with you later, probably at the end of the day, to let you know how I'm doing and how the rest of our day went. So see you later. But wait a moment, I forgot to show you the dot on Tumble Books, so let me do that now. All right, so before I move you to Tumble Books, let me just start off on Epic, and these are books that I put as my favorites. So here's the dot by Peter H. Reynolds, and basically you can zoom in. It'll take over the whole screen, and you can read the dot to your students. And this one is not narrated, but it's just the ebook online so that you can read it if you don't have a copy of the dot. You can definitely go ahead and read it like this. Get Epic is free. And I say Get Epic because that's the actual website, but it's Epic for educators. And even if the dot already passed, you can definitely read it to your students. It's a really great inspirational story. But this is how it looks on Tumble Books. And here's the dot. Tumble Books, again, is an online book library, again, of ebooks. But I'm going to go ahead and show you how this looks. Wait, they're asking me to sign in again, so 1 second. So here is the story, The Dot, and you'll see how it starts off.
Art class was over, but Vashti sat glued to her chair. Her paper was empty. Vashti's teacher leaned over the blank paper. Ah, a polar bear in a snowstorm.
So as you can see, it narrates it and some of the pictures are illustrated. So that's how I'm going to read it to the class today, or have the computer read it to them so that they can be engaged with it. So I really love Tumble Books, and I'm so glad that I also found the dot on here. I also use Tumble Books to show kids Enemy Pie, which is another one of my favorite books, but just wanted to share that with you. All right, so now I'm definitely going to see you at the end of the school day. Hello everyone, it's now the end of the day, so I wanted to give you an update. I am still feeling kind of okay, but I kind of feel like the pressure, this migraine really wants to settle in, so I definitely need to go home and take some more medicine and just rest and relax. And as far as the afternoon goes, we did get to read the dot, and the students created all of these dots that I'm looking forward to putting probably above our Hogwarts skyline. Here are all the different dots, and I showed you a few clips of the students creating them, but it's all the rainbow of different colors so that we can display them in our classroom. Students really loved the story, and we talked about the theme and the overall message, which was really great. We also read the talent show. We discussed it. They started filling out their trifold today for the comprehension. They'll finish that tomorrow, and we'll start going into our main selection tomorrow as well. And all good things. We also read We the Kids and talked about the preamble to the U.S. Constitution, talked about what the Constitution was and why it was important, and we started writing our classroom constitution with a few of the promises that they are going to add to our classroom. And we stopped at number 5 because it was time for dismissal, but they'll continue tomorrow, and we'll revise some of the ones that we have currently. So I'll show you more about that tomorrow. I also received 2 packages from Amazon, which are for our Rock Our School, which is this Thursday, but I'm not gonna open them in this video. I'll open them for the Thursday video, which I'll film right now, but it will not be included until that video. That is for Rock Your School, so stay tuned for that video. All right, so I'm going to gather my things and get going so I can rest and relax and have a good evening. So I will see you tomorrow, Wednesday. Hello and welcome to Wednesday. I'm coming to you at the end of the day. It's been a really great day. We've done so many things, including finishing the book Wish Tree. Let me just say, I wasn't really planning on finishing it today. I was thinking of reading 5 chapters, but again, they're not that long, and we ended up just finishing all the way to the end. And when you get to almost the end, there's like one part, I knew it was coming because I even told the kids, wow, I don't know how I'm going to be able to read this book without crying because it's so full of emotion. I got to that part and I started to cry because it's just so beautiful and it just gets me every single time. So the kids are like, oh, Miss Sanchez, we should do a group hug. So some of them came up and like we just like huddled and did like a group hug. They love the book so much. And again, it's all about everyone is welcome. Everyone should stay, and we all need to embrace our diversity and our differences. And it's just a wonderful book. I keep recommending it. It's just beautiful. So we finished reading that, and then we did a rereading of The Talent Show. We pretty much finished the trifold for comprehension, and then we read Experts Incorporated and started reading Speaking Out to Stop Bullying. So I'm really proud of myself. We've done so much with all those readings. We didn't finish the last one, Speaking Out to Stop Bullying, but we'll finish it tomorrow or the next day because tomorrow is Rock Your School, and not sure how that is going to play into the activity yet because I'm doing final preparations for that. But talking about Rock Your School, check out all these packages that have come. So we have these 2 packages here. There's 4 packages here. There are 2 more packages here and 1 more package here that was by my desk. All of these are for our classroom transformation tomorrow. And if you want to find out what's in these packages, you're going to have to wait and see my video for Rock Your School, which I will be doing the unboxing of these packages in that video. So yeah, and then after we went ahead and did all of that for reading, they had Spanish, we went to lunch. After lunch, we had math, which we were working on some problems for multiplication comparisons and showing them how to do the box models in order to solve the problems. And I gave them graph papers so they can actually draw the models and practice. I briefly went over lesson 2.3, not that I had to go into an extensive lesson because it's all about multiplying with tens, hundreds, and thousands, which you just find the basic fact and then you add the zeros. So yeah, lots to do with that. And then we started with science, going over rotation and revolution and how Earth moves and the patterns that we see in the sky. And which actually that one is more for tomorrow's lesson. We're doing constellations and tomorrow will be some star maps. But again, you'll find out more about that on Thursday's video for Rock Your School because I'm filming that as a separate video. So yeah, we ended the day with science, and today being early release, the kids just left. We do have a faculty meeting today, so I'm going to do some last minute preparations before I go to that. And that's basically, I guess, all I have to share with you today, Wednesday. I know that's kind of short, but I'm about to get into these packages and unbox them right now. But again, that's going to be for the next video that you're going to have to watch after this one. So, all right, so I will move us on to Friday because Thursday will be a separate video. So I'll move you on to Friday.
Hi, welcome to Starbucks. How may I help you today?
Good morning. Can I please have a grande pumpkin spice latte with coconut milk?
All right, we'll have a grande pumpkin spice latte with coconut milk. Is that hot or ice?
Hot, please.
Just a drink?
Yes.
All right, $5.94. Love you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Good morning, everyone. Starting today's video a little bit differently. It is Friday. We finally made it to Friday of the 5th week of school. And yesterday's Rock Your School Day was amazing. Be sure to check out that video, which we'll post separately to this vlog. And let's just say the students at the end of the day didn't want to go home because they were having so much fun. So as you can see, I am very tired. I don't know if you can see that, but I feel very tired. I'm exhausted and I decided to treat myself. So I went to Starbucks, as you saw, and I got myself a pumpkin spice latte with coconut milk, hot because I need it hot right now. So I'm getting ready to step into the school building, do the date change, start our day, and I'll take you right along with us. So see you later. I'm now here in my classroom, just relaxing until the kids come in. They come in about 15 minutes. And I just want to say yesterday when I left school, we stepped outside and it felt the weather amazing. Instead of just stepping out and having the heat hit your face, it was a nice cool breeze that was blowing. And I just paused for a moment and I'm like telling my son and his girlfriend, wait a minute, let's take this in. this is what fall in Florida feels like. So the humidity was not around or that I could feel. And I know Florida doesn't have the usual fall temperatures, but just like even this morning, the nice cool breeze, and you start feeling like fall is in the air, which the first day of fall is on Monday, which, by the way, Monday is also my 2-year YouTube anniversary. So I'll talk a little bit more about that because I want to do like an update on what's it been like to be a teacher YouTuber for 2 years, how far we have come since that first time that I uploaded that first video on September 23rd. And also, I may or may not, I don't know, I'm gonna see how I do it, do a reaction to my first video. So that'll be interesting if I am able to get that done. So just taking it all in this morning. The classroom is nice and relaxing. I just finished doing a couple of little cleanup touches from yesterday's Rock Your School Day. And right now I'm going to place the do now on their desk. And I also have a couple of flyers that I've been forgetting to pass out this week. I'm just gonna put them on their desk and have them put them away this morning as they get ready for the day. All right, so let me continue to get those things done, and I'll see you a little bit later. So we made it to the end of our day Friday, the end of the 5th week of school. And I just want to kind of give you a update of what we ended up doing today. You saw a clip of the students working on a vocabulary game from our vocabulary curriculum from Sadleir, Oxford. And I think that's what it is. I always forget what are all the companies of the curriculum that we use in school. But anyway, they were playing like a hangman, and we reviewed all the words before they took their vocabulary test. I just finished pretty much grading all of them, and they did a pretty good job as an overall class average. And then they took a selection test for reading, which is the Experts Incorporated for Unit 1, Week 2. I'm a little bit behind, but we'll finish reading the paired selection next week, Monday. We'll discuss the skills and the standard that we're going over with that unit, and then they'll probably take their reading tests on either Tuesday or Wednesday. And we're also getting ready to take our mid-chapter checkpoint for math. We did such an extensive lesson today just by using the One Stop Teacher Shop math review sheet, just one sheet for the entire week. We went over not just what we learned in chapter 1, but what we're currently learning in chapter 2 and what we will learn in chapter 3. So it was really great. And then I took the time to ask them any questions they had from the homework, and I went over problems that they might not have understood really well, especially when it comes to the box model of making sure that they solve those problems involving the multiple step of the multiplication comparisons. And I realize right now I am not making any sense. So let me show you an example of what I mean. All right, these are the type of problems that we were working on with that. So it says like last month Kim trained 3 times as many dogs as cats. If the total number of cats and dogs she trained last month is 28, how many cats did Kim train? So we use the box model to have the students write, okay, how many times the dogs? 3 boxes. Don't pay attention to the number 7 right now because that's what we find out at the end. But when we first start, they're blank. And then cats is 1 box because dogs is 3 times the amount of cats. But together they make up 28. So how many equal groups make up 28? 1, 2, 3, 4. So 4 times some number equals 28. And the answer is 7. So then we put 7 in each box and we find out that she trained 7 cats. But sometimes, depending on the question, it might ask how many dogs did she train. In that case, that's not where I stop. I don't stop at 7. I then have to do 7 times 3, which will be 21, which we actually need for the next part of the problem, which is how many more dogs than cats did Kim train. So dogs, a total is 21 minus the total number of cats, which is 7. 21 minus 7 is 14. So she trained 14 more dogs than cats. So that's the kind of problems that the kids were going over. And I'm not sure if I went over it earlier this week, but they still had questions about it. So we went over especially this one at the back, which is multiple steps. because they first have to find out how many goldfish and guppies there were. And there were 6 times as many goldfish as guppies. So 1 box for guppies and 6 boxes for goldfish. But in total, there were 21 fish. So then how many equal groups make 21? We have 6 plus 1, which is 7, times some number, n, equals 21, which is 3. Then we put the 3 in all the boxes. We find out there are 3 guppies. And then 6 times 3 goldfish, which is 18. And then we do the subtraction, 18 minus 3 equals 15. Because the question is asking us how many more goldfish are there than guppies. So if you were a little confused by that, so were the kids, which is why I spent a good amount of time going over it. This week we spent maybe 2 class periods of math going over this, practicing it. And today I spent some time asking them questions from their homework to make sure that they were clear on that. We even went over the distributive property with the area model, but they're pretty much good with that. They just need a little bit more practice. This was the lesson that really stumped them, so I spent some time on that one. And then on Fridays, we don't have time for science, and we actually didn't have time for social studies because we took some time to really make sure the students understood the math. And that's basically what we ended up doing today, Friday. So it's been a really great and eventful week with Rock Your School and all the things we've been doing. Another thing that I was able to do during my planning time was to make my instructional focus, which helps me plan my lessons. I've been meaning to do it since the year started, and not having it done means that I'm flipping through all the different pacing guides. I have a pacing guide for each subject that I teach. That is a lot of papers to go through. So I like to have it like at a glance so I can see what my 2-week period sort of looks like, and then I can plan. So this is the document that I created. I've shared about it before, but it's just such a great time saver. So I make it for myself, but I also make it for my team. So once it was done, I shared it with my entire 4th grade team. And this is what it looks like. It's at a glance. It tells me the weeks that we're working on, what we're doing in ELA, the stories we're reading, the essential question, the standards, and the writing prompt. With math is the chapter that we're on, the topic, the dates that we're actually, because sometimes the dates here may not correlate, when we're supposed to administer the topic assessment, essential question, and the standards. Same thing for science and for social studies. So right now we just wrapped up this week, and just looking at this, I'm like, oh boy, I'm a little behind here and here, right? I was supposed to finish my science today, but I've only done lessons 1 and 2. So I'm a little behind in science. I'm not even done with chapter 1, so I have to hurry up because I was supposed to finish chapter 2 today in social studies, but I'm just being honest. And this is great to have this to look at. And this is what I'm supposed to be working on next week. So that starts week 6 and 7 together for reading. And then we have a different time span across the subjects, depending. We have a big time to work on chapter 3, so I know I can definitely get caught up. And that's the rest of my grading period and how it looks like for the next 5 weeks. All right, so that's all I have to share with you for this week. I hope you enjoyed coming along with me. Make sure you check out my Rock Your School Day video, which will be posted tomorrow after this one is posted. So hopefully this one went up on Saturday, and you'll be watching the Rock Your School Day on Sunday, as long as I get it all edited. Well, if you enjoyed coming along with me, don't forget to hit the like button, leave a comment down below, let me know what you thought, or any questions you may have. Also, if you haven't subscribed, please consider subscribing and hitting the bell for notifications so you don't miss any future videos. I forgot to mention that I have one of my favorite shirts on from Lipstick and Littles. It's called Do Not Stress, Just Try Your Best. And of course, I had to wear my donut lanyard from Lily Pop. Look how cute these donuts look. Seriously. Wait, they're flipping over. There we go. Super cute. All right, so I hope you have a beautiful, magical day. And don't forget to smile.
Hello dreamers, wishers, and magical thinkers. Thank you so much for making it to the very end of this video and for showing your support. If you'd like to subscribe, you can do so by clicking on my picture down here. You can also check out my latest videos here and here. Don't forget to believe in the magic that's inside you because you are capable of great things. See you next time.